Big news is Christian Gonzalez. Now, it's not big what he said. He gave us a generic. He's coming back for an injury, tore his labrum, week 4, and that Cowboys loss, missed the last 13 games. He said this, quote, "It feels amazing to come out and be with the guys again." And talk of him being a leader, he said, quote, "I don't really look at it like that, but if they do, of course, I love to help my teammates. Ask questions, let them know I'm there."
Yeah.
This is important, man. Year 2 guy, only played 4 games, but embracing the role of being a leader for the Patriots, and they need him on this defense. Now, think about the guys they have, Juwan Bentley, but, he's getting up there in age, especially for an off-ball linebacker. Kyle Duggar brought back on an extension. You have Christian Gonzalez. Matt Judon, we'll see how much longer he's a Patriot. Dietrich Wise, same thing. You need people like Christian Gonzalez to step up and embrace being a leader because he's also one of their best players.
Yes.
And that has to go hand in hand. He's a quiet kid. He's not rah-rah, really soft-spoken in interviews too. But if he's a leader on the field and a leader to his teammates on the sidelines, I'll take it, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, listen, this kid has a chance to be a star, George, and we both know it. We just didn't get a large enough sample size to really stamp it the way we want. But we did see flashes in the games he did play. What I saw was what everyone talked about in the pre-draft process with this kid, where they talked about the versatility, right? I mean, we saw him get a sack. We saw him with tackles. We saw him get a pick. He feels like the kind of guy you can move around on the defense and make things happen, whether it's corner or even safety at times. He's big. He's physical. I just think he has potential to be a star. He has the right mentality. He has the looks even. I think this kid has everything to be an absolute rock star. What we have to see now from him, obviously, is can you stay healthy?
Yeah.
Now, granted, we're all giving him a pass. It was rookie year. He was here for 5 minutes, it felt like, before he got hurt. But this is the kind of season where you need to put it together. And if nothing else, stay healthy the whole year. If you're going to miss a game or 2, fine. But you can't have another catastrophic or major injury where he misses significant time, because then the question marks will arise. So, George, I've already seen enough to feel confident saying this kid can play. I also have enough, I would say, confidence in Gerard Mayo that the defense should, at the very least, and I've been saying this, stay the status quo. If the defense is just as good as they were last season, I'll take it. If they're better, even better. But what I cannot tolerate is if this defense takes a significant step back. Then I have questions about Gerard Mayo. But given his background, we're just going to go ahead and give him that benefit of the doubt that the defense should be fine. But if Gonzalez can stay healthy, I think then we'll see really what his potential is. We saw flashes, as I said, but it just wasn't a large enough sample size, George. I want to see him put it together for a whole season. If he can do that, if he can stay upright, he can stay on the field, then we'll really see what he could be.
Yeah, so far through minicamp for the Patriots, it's been the defense dominating. Now, there's more continuity on that side of the ball, of course. DeMarcus Covington got promoted from defensive line coach to defensive coordinator.
That's
Gerard Mayo from DC to head coach. More assistants stayed on board, even though one of the Belichicks and Steve left, and Bill Belichick obviously had that elegant solution of leaving the Pats. He was fired by Robert Kraft. But this is still what you want. And you said it, that Christian Gonzalez can be a rock star, right?
Yes.
This kid can be an all-time great for the Patriots.
He can.
The framework is there, the athleticism, the length, the size, how important his role is. But he stepped in from day one, and watching him in person, the comparison, I mean, it's buttery hips, getting in and out of his breaks, which you need as a cornerback. But literally, and I think it's his length that adds to this, it's like watching a cat. Yeah. There's something different, the way they leap, how quick they can be, going side to side. His lateral quickness, now I'm literally talking about Christian Gonzalez here.
Yep.
As a cornerback, you have to be that. And he was a standout guy at Oregon. He was that dude for them, a cornerback one.
Yep.
He was the guy for the Patriots through the first 4 weeks, and also still he's learning life in the NFL as it goes. He got that taste, obviously had to rehab the torn labrum. Now he got a full offseason, knowing what it'll take for his body to be in the NFL. But I'm with you. If there's another big injury, yes, the durability comes into question. But this kid can be an all-time great cornerback for the Pats. And I'm talking about, you go through the years, the Ty Laws, even the guys that they've signed outwards, the Stephon Gilmores that they brought in, been defensive players of the year for the Patriots, the undrafted free agent gems, the J.C. Jacksons, right? But Christian Gonzalez, as a first-round pick, taken top 20 overall, and a guy that Bill Belichick picked and changes the complexity of an entire defense because he could take an entire receiver, elite number one receiver or side of the field away. If he steps up and becomes that, again, an all-time great. And this is another guy, what you want, what we saw with the Duggars, with the Onwenus, with the other guys they've drafted. He could get a second, third contract with this team and be a high-functioning player, a high-level player. And again, this is a long-term rebuild for the Patriots, 2 or 3 years. When you get that quarterback clicking, he'll be a vet by that point. The defense comes together. You have the offense coming together, an offensive line built up, some elite receivers on the outside. Christian Gonzalez will be a key piece. If this team has success in the playoffs under Drake May, and I'm saying 2-3 years from now, Christian Gonzalez will be a key factor why that defense will be able to win them games as well.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I do have some concerns about the labrum, though, right? Because this guy is and was a short tackler. So one of the things that concerns me is, as we know, there's a mental aspect involved in coming back from injuries as well. Will he maybe shy away from that contact, shy away from being a short tackler like we saw that he was and is capable of being? That worries me a little bit. But the beauty of this is we have, from minicamp to training camp and all those kinds of things, preseason included, he has time to sort of work through that. So in other words, maybe we could see early on in his comeback, George, maybe he is missing tackles. Maybe we start reading reports from training camp that says, well, his coverage is really good, but he kind of seems a little bit sus in terms of coming up and making some hits.
Hypotheticals, huh?
Well, it could be because look, a labrum is nothing to mess around with, right? So, but we'll see. But here's the thing I know. By the time the regular season comes around, I would think any type of mental yips, if they exist, could be gone by that time, and he should be ready to rock and roll. Because it's one of the things I love about the kid. He's a short tackler as well as a great cover corner.
What I love about him is also the situation he steps into. Because Jonathan Jones, who's a 2-time Super Bowl champion and a great, great leader in that locker room, soft-spoken guy, but a leader there on the defense and the locker room, a guy that can mentor him. Jabril Peppers, a veteran in the league, playing safety behind him, can mentor him. But also Mike Pellegrino, their cornerbacks coach. We could have all the issues of what the assistants were on the offensive side of the ball the last few seasons, but on the defensive side of the ball, you don't have any questions. And Pellegrino is a guy that's tapped into some of the names I mentioned, like a J.C. Jackson, like a Jack Jones when he was here.
That's right.
And brought the most out of them. To have him there coaching Christian Gonzalez, teaching him to be a pro, I just love the situation he's in. So I think it's beyond, he has the talent there, right? He has the ability, he has the skill, he has the size, he has the athleticism. But what's the scenario that he's going in? What's the situation? And it's boosted by the assistant coaches around him. It's boosted by the head coach in the building. It's boosted by the players around him on this defense. But Gonzalez on his own can succeed and should be a great cornerback for years to come on this team. For him to be excited to be back out there with the teammates, I love it. But like I said, this is a guy of many few words. Like, that's the key soundbite we get from Christian Gonzalez. It feels amazing to come out and be with the guys again. Yes, of course it does. He's happy to be back on football. And this is all what we've seen so far of him this offseason. No pads. It's mini camp. Training camp in August is when a lot of your questions will be answered as well, Trav, when the pads come on, when they start hitting again. And, of course, as we see him through the preseason, but most importantly, in the regular season. But what I love, the one thing you don't have to worry about with him is his ability as a cornerback, right? You have to worry about how he's come back from the labrum. Does he take that second-year leap? How is he tackling on the outside when the Patriots need him to? You'd hope that the front seven doesn't allow that to happen a ton. But most importantly, you don't have to worry about him as an actual corner. He's not a project. He is a great prospect. Still a prospect. Hasn't played a lot, but a great player at his position. It's not a guy sit and wait and watch. No, he was a CB1 for them to open the season. He'll be CB1 for them to open up the 2024 season as well.
Yeah, he's also, I think it's deeper than that. It's not just a CB1 in terms of can you shut down the other team's best player. As I said, one of the things I love about him is the versatility. So in the same way that I'm looking at Drake May on the offensive end, hey, let's get some creativity offensively in terms of play calling to get Drake May out on the move, get him running, throwing on the run, showing off the different skill set. I feel the same way about Christian Gonzalez on the defensive side. Blitz him. Utilize him in different ways. Move him around. Move him back to safety sometimes. Move him up to the line of scrimmage sometimes. And I actually think that makes it more of a headache offensively for teams trying to game plan for this dude and go against him when he's all over the field defensively. So I hope that the Patriots kind of use that. That's one thing I'll give Belichick all the credit in the world for. He was masterful at moving guys around, disguising different things. You know, hopefully that part of the Belichick era stays, because this is one of those kids, and it's probably why Belichick picked him, right? Hey, look, for all the stuff we can criticize Bill about, one thing you can't is handpicking corners. I mean, Bill
defensive
Belichick,
prospects in general.
He is gifted at that. So this is just another, and I guess the last in his long line of kids that he handpicked at that position.
The one name I'll tell you, I think Christian Gonzalez stays out at corner. Take away, especially the receivers they're matching up with in this division, and the whole, schedule as a whole. I mean, he's gonna be facing the Texans. He's gonna be facing the Chargers, aren't good anymore, but still, of course, the Jets and Garrett Wilson. You guys get it, right? But Marte Mapu, that's the name to watch. Another guy, let's see him make a sophomore jump. He was kind of redshirted last season. He's the versatile piece. Can play safety, can play off-ball linebacker, come into the box, kind of like another Kyle Duggar. Let him be that guy that you're blitzing. To me, leave Christian Gonzalez out there and let him take away the opposite team's number one option.